Hello friends, great to be able to join you again today and hopefully to offer you a word of encouragement as many of us continue to navigate this lockdown season as we deal with and seek to suppress this COVID outbreak. One of the things that I'm missing as restrictions mean that we can't move in and out of each other's homes is the opportunity both to receive and to offer hospitality. It's one of the things we love as Australians in particular is sharing a meal around a barbecue, around a shared dining table or something like that. And certainly as we've moved from one state to another, as Sue and I've moved into this role, we've experienced wonderful hospitality across the Wesley Mission family and have begun to be able to offer that hospitality here in our home in Roseville. And I remember when we first moved down, we drove from Queensland. This is last October. We drove down to New South Wales. We did it in about 10-hour drive. We had most of our stuff had been moved by removalists. We still had a whole bunch of stuff piled into a hire car. We had our dog with us who'd never been on a trip that long before in the car with us. We weren't sure how that was going to go. He was awesome. And we left around 7 a.m. and we got into Sydney around 7 p.m. and we came to the manse and we were welcomed beautifully and with wonderful hospitality by Keith and Carol Garner, who was then the superintendent minister and who I succeeded in this role. They welcomed us into a home. We came into a temporary kitchen. We had at the time, they were doing renovations and the pantry was filled with food and Keith and Carol had prepared a meal for us. So we walked in tired from the trip and had this hospitality extended to us. And it was such a great encouragement and a reminder of the blessing of hospitality and something that, of course, we're missing being able to offer and receive in this time, although we can do it in other creative ways, of course. Some of you might be sharing meals via Zoom, even though you're distant from one another. There's all sorts of creative ways we can still enjoy the community that comes with hospitality as well. Now, one of the things that I've been reflecting on, as I've shared a few times now, is the Psalms in this season. And the most famous Psalm of all is Psalm 23, the 23rd Psalm. And I shared about this Psalm with our Wesley International community just a little while ago. And Psalm 23, each line is famous. Each line has its own imagery that's attached to it. But you may remember that one of the lines in Psalm 23, it says, David says, "My cup overflows." My cup overflows. And it'd be easy to skate past what that phrase actually means. But that phrase, my cup overflows, actually speaks to the radical, inclusive, all-encompassing hospitality of God. There's a deeper understanding we can come to around that phrase out of its cultural context. You see, in the Israel of David's day, in the Middle East even today, hospitality is crucial. It's something that's fundamental to the culture. And in David's day in particular, including in Jesus' day, hundreds of years later, if you had someone in your home, if you had a friend, a guest in your home, and you were providing them a meal, it was incumbent upon you as the host to ensure that they had enough food, but they also had enough drink. And so the cup would be in front of them. And as they drank their wine usually, and as their wine cup became empty, you would keep on topping up the wine. You would keep ensuring that the guest had enough to drink. Now, there were some unstated rules, some cultural expectations. If the night was getting along, if it was getting late and you wanted to indicate to your guests that it was time perhaps for them to go, for the dinner party to end, you would never say that up front. That would not be the right thing to do. Here's how you would indicate it and how the unspoken message would be communicated. You would stop filling up their cup and the guest would know, okay, it's time for me to go. But if you wanted them to keep on staying, if they were welcome to stay, you would just keep on filling up the cups. You understand? If you kept on filling up the cup, you can stay. If you stop filling the cup, it might be time for you to go. And there was one further way you could communicate to your guest. If you wanted to say to your guest, this is such a wonderful night, you're such an important guest, I want to honor you as long as I can, you would literally fill up their cup, not until it was filled to the brim, but you would fill it up until it was overflowing. And in doing so, what you were saying to your guest is, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like. This home is your home as long as you are here. So when David says, my cup overflows, when he speaks of the Lord being his shepherd, he's saying to us and he's saying to God, I know that in your presence I am always welcome. You never shoo me out the door. I'm never unwelcome. My cup overflows. You are always, my Lord, hospitable towards me. And what David was saying to God, we also can say ourselves. Through faith and relationship in Jesus Christ, the Son of David, our cup overflows. We are welcomed into the presence of God, not just now, not just tomorrow, but forever. No matter what circumstances we find ourselves in life, we are never alone. As Jesus says, never will I leave you nor forsake you to those who follow him. So may you be encouraged today, even in those moments where you feel alone, where you feel isolated, where you feel separated, that your cup truly does overflow, that God is always with you, will never leave you nor forsake you. Again, if there's anything we can be doing to pray for you or support you, there's an email address now on the screen. We'd love to be able to encourage you in any way possible. Leave some comments below. If you'd like to engage with us, I'd love to have a conversation with you in any way that might be helpful. God bless you, and remember